Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Well, if this guy is right, XRP isn't really needed and doesn't make any sense, does it? There's a new article from A&B Crypto, and it's titled Goldman Sachs President, Believer of Digital Dollar, Not Crypto. Not so much. I'll tell you what, some people are really smart, but have opinions when they just haven't educated themselves sufficiently on a topic. So I'm going to run through this and explain why this stance is nonsensical. Most of it, anyway, or well, certainly all of it as it pertains to XRP. I've also got a fascinating story I want to share with you that's unrelated, which I'll share for the end of the video, which is titled Late Night Host Stephen Colbert Torches Bitcoin in Bad Good Publicity Blitz. Really, it's Colbert, though, right? Stephen Colbert. He just likes to make it sound more fancy. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's talk about. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap that like button. I tell you what, I would be eternally grateful. I don't know how the hell the YouTube algorithm works, but I know if you are willing to just take a moment to do that, it is good for the Moon Lambo channel. And also, consider subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel if you have not yet, because it's a cold hard fact that the Moon Lambo channel does a body good. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor. He'll back me up. So let's dive into this first piece here. I am not a real believer in sort of the cryptocurrency world, said the former Goldman Sachs president and former NEC director Gary Cohn. Now, that stance on its surface, I must admit, before I entered the world of crypto in late 2017, I certainly was not a believer either. Now, I'm not a believer in the sense that people that don't understand the space might now expect. It doesn't mean that I think that cryptocurrency is going to be replacing fiat currency, but I really didn't understand that there are practical real-world applications, utilizations of blockchain technology that if they have a native digital asset which has an open market value specifically, you can just have business models that are otherwise not possible to operate. Literally, technologically impossible. Just not going to work. And that was the key thing that I didn't expect to run into as soon as I got into the world of crypto and started researching dozens of different cryptocurrencies and ultimately came across XRP and thought, oh my God, there's an actual use case outside of what I was expecting here. And so that, again, that sentence of I am not a real believer in sort of the cryptocurrency world, I can understand that, but when people say that, I feel like that's the beginning stance, and I don't know that this particular individual, however smart he may be, however successful he may have been with JP Morgan, not JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. I'm not, I'll tell you what, I'm skeptical of the concept of him having thoroughly researched the entire space. Let me just say that, because there is something to this. But, so anyway, that's Goldman Sachs president and former NEC director Gary Cohn who said that. The underlying technology, i.e. the blockchain tech, however, is often touted as the next big thing and has already been deployed in businesses and institutions globally. And that part's true. There are some people that I still see this this concept touted primarily from people that are in like the Bitcoin maxi camp, which is there is no blockchain without Bitcoin. And I say, I don't know about that. There can be cryptocurrencies that have open market values, but blockchain technology without a native digital asset is a thing. And I still don't really understand how anybody can dispute that. Like, that's actually a fact, right? But anyway, while Cohn does not believe in the currency aspect of these digital assets, however, he is of the opinion that the technological side of it is unbelievably important and is going to be part of a huge revolution. And here's a quote from him now. I think you need to break this down. We conflate crypto and blockchain in America. We think they are synonyms. They are not. And fair enough, actually. I agree with that statement. You parse those words out, to me it makes a ton of sense. While talking about the emerging crypto market in a recent fireside chat on current global macroeconomic trends effects on our capital markets, Cohn, who is a believer of digital fiat but not cryptocurrency, said, quote, I am much more of someone that thinks in the United States. We still believe in safety and soundness. We believe in KYC. We believe in AML. So KYC, of course, being know your customer, AML being anti-money laundering. And he stated, we believe in audit trail and some regulatory oversight. In the crypto assets that are out there are sort of the antithesis of that. Okay, there are some that are the antithesis of that, but actually, I'd argue that most are not, because most blockchains out there are not privacy coins. Those cryptocurrencies that are privacy coins, okay, fine, they're trying to explicitly skirt the system, but when you're talking about XRP, the XRP ledger, or the Bitcoin blockchain, these are systems that are just open. The XRP ledger is not anonymous. The Bitcoin blockchain is not anonymous. You can actually track all of this. And so why should something, especially given that it's not veiled in secrecy, why should there not be able to be a digital asset, a cryptocurrency that just has an open market value, especially given that it can be tracked and monitored and made to be sure that it's not being used for illicit purposes? That makes all the sense in the world, right? And so, and that is indeed what's happening. That's why when you look at what Ripple's doing in positioning XRP as a bridge currency, it's regulated on both sides with KYC and AML. It's all taken into account right there. And especially from a regulatory perspective, yes, there are hurdles to overcome, but at least the banks don't really have to hold XRP. They let, in terms of the price volatility, that the exchanges are able to kind of, because they're the pools of liquidity, they're the ones that take the risk as far as that's concerned. But here's the thing that I think this individual is missing most, and this is really the most key part of it all for me. If your whole thing is that we should have digital currencies, which really exist, even if you're talking about, there's CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, well, understand that the US dollar, for example, it's already digital. Yeah, fine, there's paper money out there and metallic currency. Oh, I hate metal coins. Oh my God, that's the only thing I hate more than paper money. Yeah, that's out there, but still, the way that most United States dollars move around the planet, it's already digital there, and it's centralized, and even if it's a CBDC, it's still going to be centralized right there. But the matter of fact thing that he's just missing here is that digital assets that have open market values can still sufficiently be regulated, and because they're not backed by anything, because there is no central authority, it results in a situation, at least in the use case of XRP, a situation where it takes trust out of the equation. Because what do you have to trust in? You trust that cryptography works if you're trusting an XRP to be utilized as a bridge currency. What else do you have to worry about? Because you're eliminating the need for this bilateral chain of banking relationships that is the correspondent banking system. And so to state that I believe in blockchain, but not if there's a native digital asset attached to it, I think you're really missing some key pieces of information about the XRP specifically. Because if you think about it, consider this. Here's another solution that can be solved, and we talk about this on the channel too. Obviously, the most obvious one is Ripple. They're being the cheerleader for XRP as a bridge currency. Fine, but think about this. What Coil is doing to have a third method of web monetization is impossible unless you have a cryptocurrency with an open market value that is not centralized, because otherwise everybody can't trust everyone, and you wouldn't be able to do it. And so Coil, they have a blend of ILP and XRP usage, and that's what makes that possible. And so this individual here doesn't understand that. It just hasn't done the research. And no, I don't think he's a stupid guy or anything like that, but I literally think he doesn't know any better. And that's why it's so silly to me, because entering the space of crypto, I was like, why do you need to have a new currency for all of these quote-unquote projects? And I still think it's a fair point. You don't need to have over 5,000 cryptocurrencies, which is what's on CoinMarketCap right now. It's completely silly. And there's so much noise out there that it's not really surprising to me. And that's why I'm not harsh on people that don't understand. Even if they've researched the space at all, I'm not too harsh on people that haven't come across XRP or researched it in any meaningful degree. But I still say all of that just so that I can make the point that people that are intelligent have done a lot with their careers, storied careers, fine. It's hard to get them to understand what is happening truly in the world of cryptocurrencies, especially XRP, because there is indeed something to this, and it is not going away. There are enough people out there already that realize the true value of the XRP ledger. It's just not going away. But, it's going to be... That's why comments like this happening in 2020, even though the asset class has been around over a decade, makes me think, my God, we are not that close to the finish line. That's what it makes me feel like, at least, right? But, hey, all good things in time. All right, next. Here's a tweet from XRP Twin. Shout out to you, XRP Twin. He tagged me along with a few others and wrote, $1 per XRP is a joke. should and will be higher in the future. But don't forget, $1 at this moment would be an increase of 463%. Pretty amazing. I know when you think about that in terms of percentage gains, yeah, that would be rather substantial. And again, not financial advice, but I suspect that the all-time high of XRP near $4 happened 2 years ago. That will not be the all-time high forever. That's my opinion. Next, here's a tweet from Jason A. Williams that I came across. Guess who went to Best Buy today? And you click on the image attached here, and it says, buy Bitcoin plus Moon equals Lambo. And since Moon and Lambo were in the picture, I just thought, and it's cryptocurrency related, I just thought I'd share it. It wasn't about me, of course, but I just liked it. Win Moon, win Lambo. The answer? Friday, 2 p.m. All right, here's a tweet from Coining203 who wrote, 1.9 million buy order for XRP. It was up to about 2 million when at Cryptopolis_X first told me about it. Now, whoever is buying all this XRP, you are my hero. And so here's the screen grab of it, and there it is. Oh my God, that's a lot. So somebody's feeling a little bullish today, huh? All right, last, from Daily Huddle, late night host Stephen Colbert torches Bitcoin in bad good publicity blitz. Bitcoin just made the cut on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I'm just going to call him Colbert. I know, Colbert. Again, in a roundup of shots on Donald Trump's golf carts, Elizabeth Warren's dating advice, and Eric Trump's taxpayer-footed surgery to Uruguay, Colbert made room to rip Bitcoin. And here's the quote. Folks, I spend a lot of time right over there, panning in the river of news for the biggest, shiniest gold news nuggets to put in my monologue. But once in a while, I like to scrap together a bunch of old, stolen computers, throw them in a basement with an illegal hookup to the municipal power supply, and mine for Bitcoin, which I use to form the black market fiat currency of news that is my segment. So I like that. I just thought I'd share it with you. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for stopping by. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!